Man, forgot my headband. I'm upset. 20,000. What's the Drake song?
That's every Drake song. I'm upset.
All right, guys, back at it again with Mr. Jeffrey Cummings. And today we're gonna look at some triangle setups, and I'm gonna give you some of my favorite options as far as the arm placement, some finishing details, and that's about it. You know, triangle is a great submission. I remember I was teaching in Orlando, and for like 6 months straight, that's all I had the guys working in the fundamentals class, was just how to do a triangle. And there's a lot of small variations we won't be able to cover, but just to give you guys a good overview. So this is specifically for newer people, but you know, for more advanced guys too, should be able to maybe fill in some gaps you might have. Okay, so we're gonna start in close guard. And I know this isn't the most popular position for a lot of people, but say you're starting out, I think this is a good position to learn, because there's not a lot of stuff that can go wrong. You know, if you did like open guard, the guy can like fly around you and kick you in the face. But I think for a newer person, like starting in closed guard is kind of safe and more controlled, and it slows the person down because you have control of their hips with your legs. Okay, so guys, once I'm here, the most important thing is controlling the posture, and so I like to control their head with my arm like a collar tie, and you guys can see now my elbow is kind of up high. And what happens to a lot of people, they're, you know, of course the guy's going to try to posture up, Jeff, bro. And then the person's trying to like fight them down. So that gets really tough, okay? So what I need to do, ideally, I want to try and keep once I get the collar tie, I want to keep my elbow towards my body, try to posture up, Jeff. And then now it's super easy, right, guys? I don't have to use a lot of power or strength to hold him. But once he starts getting past where my elbow touches my body, that's when I don't want to just sit here trying to fight him. Posture up now. In that case, if he's very high up, I'm just gonna pick one side, and I'm just gonna go. We used to do like, you know, this old drill where the guy has his arms on the floor, and he sit up for like the sit-up sweep, Kimura sweep. I'm gonna use a very similar motion, so he's posturing up. I'm just gonna sit up on my elbow, and then the opposite side hand controls his head. And from here, guys, I'm gonna use my body, my weight going backwards to pull him back down. Okay. While I'm doing that, I'm also going to use my legs to help me pull. And that's something a lot of new people kind of miss. They always want to use like their upper body, but then they forget about their lower body, guys. You need both, okay? So again, he goes to posture up. I can't hold him here. I'm just going to sit up on my elbow. And then I'm going to use the momentum from my body sitting back down alongside my legs and the collar tie to pull him back down. Okay. Once I'm here, we're gonna talk a little bit about the arm placements, but just like for reference, my favorite arm placement is just the overhook, okay? It's just here. Especially if, say, you're in a street fight or something, the guy's trying to hit you, you go more wide. So Jeff does more striking, so he's like keeping it tight, but you know, you're gonna see a lot of guys go overhand, yeah, boom, look, I block, and then overhook, okay? So that's one of my favorite control points, especially coming from this kind of position where you're sitting up, coming down. It's gonna be easy to overhook, okay? So starting with the overhook, once I control him here, you know, I can hold this for a while, but I need to start getting to my side. So the same side I had the overhook on, I'm gonna start shrimping out to the side, okay? And it's okay for me to unlock here because he's not postured up. If I were to unlock and he's postured up, and now he's gonna start escaping. But since I'm pulling him down with the overhook, there's nowhere for him to go. So pull him down, overhook, It doesn't matter which side you overhook. I just have a preference for this side. So I'm gonna start to shrimp out. Again, controlling the overhook with the collar tie. I shrimp out towards my elbow, the arm I have trapped, okay? From here, I move to the side, and I'm gonna try to relock. And I've shown this move a lot, so what happens to a lot of new people, you do this, move back towards me, square yourself up. Yeah, exactly. Like they keep doing it, keep squaring yourself up. That'll happen a lot, okay? So the detail I use to help me do that, I'm just gonna hook. I can either keep an open hand or I like to hook my hip. You guys see, I'm gonna hook my hip here. And what I'm gonna do as I start shrimping out, I'm gonna flare my elbow towards his body. Try to come towards me, Jeff.
It's impossible.
Yeah, a lot of pressure, okay guys? From here I can relock my guard. And you see how he's posting on the mat, that's fine too. I can just take my leg out. And if you're shorter, you can just go straight, no problem. If you're taller, you wanna go lower on his arm, all right? Bicep or wrist, and then you're gonna clear it, okay? From here, I take my overhook out, keep control of his head. I'm gonna bridge my hips off the mat, push his arm across my body, boom. And now I start to lock my triangle, okay? You know, there's so many details on locking the triangle, but I'm specifically if you're shorter, what we need to do, guys, I want you to focus on my leg. And so you see this space against his neck. All right, what I need to do, scoot back a little bit, Jeff. What I need to do, especially if you're shorter, you know, I can unlock my legs just to post off his hip, but I need to get my hamstring right next to his neck, guys, and really lock that thing in. You feel how tight that is, Jeffro?
Yeah, I'm about to tap.
Because what a lot of shorter people do, they try to lock it, but there's so much space, it's very inefficient. You're just wasting your energy. So what I need to do, guys, is get that leg up higher and lock it, clamp it onto his body. And then I can pull my leg closer. And what I'm trying to do, I don't need to go too tight on his shoulder, especially if the guy has narrow shoulders. Sometimes you'll lock it here, but some guys are able to pull their head. I've trained with a lot of people, and some guys can do that if they have narrow shoulders. So what I just want to kind of stop right onto his shoulder, okay? So I elevated my hips off the mat, and I don't go too close with that heel. From here, I lock my legs together, and now I'm going to keep pulling his head down while pushing my hamstrings together, my thighs together, okay? So that's the overhook. Again, I'm here. Sometimes, you know, a lot of times the guy will post on your body. I'll bring my hands under, and then one hand to the head, one hand to the overhook, okay? Again, I'm using those details I mentioned earlier. The one detail being to keep my elbow in close to my body. If he tries to posture up, it's gonna make it hard. And then with the overhook, I'm gonna hook my own hip, and then I'm gonna flare my elbow, my forearm into his shoulder as I shrimp out, okay? When I'm here, if he's posting, that leg can come out straight pretty quickly, okay? If he's, a lot of times when you're here, the guy, you know, maybe he's gonna stay tight and keep your elbow in close. That's fine too. Like a lot of times they'll try to get back on your shoulder, square yourself up, yeah. He's gonna try and do that. So as soon as I feel him getting that arm in, look, I'm gonna kind of touch on that elbow, sitting up on my elbow concept we did earlier. And look, I re-pummel inside, start pushing his arm out, and shoot my triangle, okay? Once I lock, again, control the head, hips up, arm across, all right? If the guy's smart, a lot of times the guy's gonna try to open up my legs preemptively. Use your arm, yeah, almost like a Sao Paulo pass. Yeah, exactly. Push it down. You can tell I taught a lot of white belts this because I've seen almost every option happen. So when I see that happen, he tries to turn. Look, I'm gonna control, turn a little bit to the side. I see him do that. I'm just gonna follow him, control his wrist, and now there's so many different options. I can kick this grip out and shoot it back in. If you have longer legs, we can hook there, shoot it back in, okay? The most important thing is just be quick, man, don't wait. Don't wait on the guy to do that to you, okay? So guys, that was the overhook. Let's look at some other hand placements. And we got some more overhook stuff later, but just to kind of go a little bit quicker. So say the guy's arm's on me. Sometimes instead of overhooking, especially if he keeps overhooking, like repummel, like I just can't hook that. I can also always switch and try the other side too, okay? All right, so just to kind of keep back on topic, so I did the overhook. My other option I like to use is just keep that in a little bit closer, like on my, yeah, there we go, fine, that's perfect, yeah. So one really good option I like, especially before the guy can get that that log splitter grip, you know, the log splitter, yeah, there, before he can get there, because that's kind of screwed up. Before the guy can do that kind of thing, I'm just gonna control his elbow, and I'm just gonna push his elbow towards his center line, guys, here. And now all I'm gonna do, I jump the same side leg as the arm I just pushed across, and I jump it up to his shoulder, and then the other leg's gonna hook on top, okay, into a high guard. So guys, really important I get the foot placement down. If I have foot placement backwards, it ain't gonna work, okay? So I always keep controlling that head with the elbow down. From here, I'm pushing his arm into my center line, his center line. Something that might help me is kind of up, like bridging my hips up a little bit. There, legs come up. And I'm just gonna kind of clamp down onto his back with this grip, okay? Again, whichever arm I pushed across, that leg goes first, second leg goes under on top. And I do like a thigh master kind of gripping, all right? From here, very easy armbar triangle setup. You know, I can go for armbar straight from here, really good option, okay? I can also start reverse armbar, another arm, boom, okay? That's also a good option. From here, say I wanna go for the traditional armbar, I'm gonna switch to his shoulder, so I kind of make an X with my arms, and now all I'm gonna do, switch the hand that was on the neck to his wrist, and I just kind of move him to the side and cross over with the top leg or the bottom leg, okay? From here, you know, we always teach to bring your heels down towards the mat, that's fine too. And sometimes I will cross, but the downside here is if the guy has good posture, he can maybe start doing that. So if you're more advanced, you know, we can do this way. If you're more newer, newer people, I'm just gonna drive my heels towards the mat. And what I really like to do is kind of the leg that's behind his head, I like to bring that behind, right onto his forehead. Try to posture up, Jeffro. Yeah, so it's almost like a neck crank, okay? If I'm here and I feel like I'm having trouble finishing this, or sometimes the guy kind of knows what's happening, he might try to escape that arm. That's fine too. What I see a lot of white belts do, they sit here and get past, man. So if I feel that arm, like I'm losing that arm, I'm losing that arm, I'm gonna switch over back to the triangle, okay? Even when I'm in the high guard, I'm here, I feel like he's getting his arm out, that's fine. Okay, I go straight for that triangle, all right? So the third arm placement we're gonna look at is just when you get the arm all the way across your body. And so sometimes when you do when you push it across, you're able to clear his elbow. That's perfect. From here, you know, I can either sit in this position and start looking for we call it like the
Flower sweep.
And we had that submission. I can also look for his back. Start sitting up for his back, get my hooks in, boom. I also have the triangle. You know, here sometimes the guy is just like open. Okay, you know, Dana here shows a triangle where he gets his leg on the side, locks it there. I'm not the biggest fan of that one, but it seems to work okay. What you see a lot of guys doing now, a lot of times they're able to get like this reverse Kimura grip, either here or here, and use that to get the guy across his body. That works okay too. But once you get, when you're on the guy's side, guys, and you can always go for the triangle or the back. So just look for this kind of positioning where he's off to the side, and then look, his back's open. He tries to turn back into me. I can start working kind of like we did earlier. Maybe get that hook in, shoot over, go to lock, all right? So that's pretty much it. So we did the overhook position there. We also did kind of more midline position here. Boom. And then we did when you get the arm all the way across too, okay? And so that's pretty much all you need from closed guard. And so it doesn't matter your skill level, it's just once you get in those positions, you can finish, all right? And again, the triangle's a great submission. You lock that bad boy and you go for it, man. One thing that might help people with their triangles, a lot of people are too heavy with their hips. So whenever you do a triangle, it's like that drill where you come here and raise your hips off the mat. And it's not just a drill, it's like, that's the movement, okay? What I see a lot of people do, they're just like, they're kind of lazy and they're just like, I can't do the triangle. So it's like your mobility, your hip mobility, your ability to get your hips off the mat, and then also your hip mobility, the ability to get that angle, okay? And also make sure you're tightening properly. If you're not utilizing your leg all the way, like getting your hamstring right against your neck, you're kind of wasting a lot of your energy, all right? So guys, that's the triangle. Man, it's so great. If I had to pick one, the most powerful move in jiu-jitsu to me is like the rear naked choke. Like, even a little kid could like lock that thing up, and even on me and Jeff, and that's it, man.
Never experienced.
Yeah. Or even like, small ladies, like with the bony arms, like get in there. So that's super powerful, but I think also the triangle, I think as a measure of like a blue belt, like having a good closed guard triangle, that's like, that to me is like a good blue belt. If you have
That's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, if you can do a triangle from closed guard, on most people, man, that's very powerful. That's the definition of having a good guard. And what I used to do is like, I would teach the white belts like for 6 months, okay, triangle, triangle, triangle. And what we saw was that, man, they got really aggressive in their guard. Like they were very offensive. Like they got to their guard, closed guard, and then man, boom, 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 triangle, triangle, triangle. And then once you build like all these variations, man, it's like they're a sniper and they're just like picking off shots. And so you want to have an offensive guard. That's, I think that should be the ideal for everybody, be able to attack from your guard. That's jiu-jitsu, right? Get the submission, man. And so that's pretty much it, guys. Hope this video helps you. Again, more basic techniques, but you never know where people are or what they learned or who they had to teach them. So it's good to kind of go over some of these details. Even for me, it makes me work. It doesn't matter if you're a black belt, like it's important to kind of remember those details and those setups because they work really well. It's just position. Get the position, man, you can finish, all right? Thank you, Jeff Pro. All right, guys, until next time, peace out. Peace, 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 and ciao. There we go, buddy, thank you. Wanna grab a smoothie? That's the only reason I come up here, guys. Filming and training, smoothies.